Hello, it's Matthew from Lanjarón Property here with our latest market update covering March. Some quick numbers to run through first to give you an overview of how the figures look, and then we can look at the wider picture in the market and see what's happening out there today. Starting with Lanjarón, during the month of March there were an average of 65 properties available for sale with an average price of €202,000. This is slightly down on last month. It's only a fall of just 1.03%, but what we're seeing is people starting to adjust their prices to a slightly more realistic price range, and those therefore are starting to sell. This still leaves an average price of €1,218 per square metre. In Órgiva, slightly less properties for sales, an average of 87 compared to last month, with an average price of €262,000. Just slightly up on last month by 1.7%. This gives an average price per square metre of around €1,500. Looking over at Lecrín Valley, obviously we've got numerous towns there and we looked at a couple last month, but this month I thought we'd take a quick look at the detail of Solaris. Solaris is a smaller town. It only has 9 properties available for sale at the moment, mainly townhouses, and with an average price of €140,000, so around €950 per square metre. So what's been happening in the market this month? Well, we've seen quite a big increase in inquiries, particularly from foreign buyers. In fact, we've seen an 18% increase over the previous month in inquiries from foreign buyers. The demand for video tours and for virtual viewings has actually increased by 26% this month. We're seeing a huge demand for virtual viewings, and we've had a number of sales again coming from these. So it's really important, if you have your property on the market at the moment, to ensure that you have a video tour and a virtual viewing available in order to attract the best buyers. This is something that's very normal in other parts of the world, in Northern Europe, in the UK, and particularly in Canada and the US. So it's really important for anyone in the market to ensure they have that. There's been some confusion over travel from various parts of Europe, and in particular in the UK. There was an announcement by the UK government that people will be able to travel to Spain for the purposes of buying, selling, renting, or dealing with property. However, Spain have continued to deny access for people who do not have residency. So there is some confusion over what's happening, and that's caused a little bit of a slowdown in the number of visitors to the area, or visits to the area by foreign buyers. But there are still plenty of buyers here looking at the moment. One of the main things, and one of the feedback that we've been getting from a lot of buyers, is they're noticing properties that have been on the market for a year, 2 years, at the same price. And the question we get asked a lot is, if the property's been on the market that long, it must be overpriced, and therefore how much of a reduction is the seller going to take? Now, this is a common practice because in Spain the average timescale for selling a property across the whole of Spain is around 12 months. We've been doing some statistical analysis here, and we can see with certain areas and with certain agents, this is actually nearly 2 years in a lot of cases. So it's really important to get professional advice from an agent dealing with international buyers. We have a network of over 600 agents throughout the world that we work with, and the feedback and the market reports that I give you is using the data coming from all of those agents. One interesting thing we found, and in particular huge demand, is from what we call digital nomads. As the world has changed and working practices have changed, many people are now able to work from home, and so we're seeing a huge demand for fincas and corticos within 10-15 minutes of a town centre, be that in Lecrín Valley or Órgiva or Lanjarón or anywhere in the abajo. However, one of the things that has been particularly important for those buyers is legalities, because many buyers coming from Northern Europe and from, say, the US, Canada and Australia are used to a mature market where properties are only traded and sold once they are legal. It can be very confusing for many buyers coming from those areas where a property doesn't have all the correct paperwork. But that's a service that we can help out with, and we've spent quite a bit of time this month resolving paperwork issues for sellers so that their property is in a position to achieve the best price from the best buyers in a suitable timescale. So that's been a market roundup for March. We're seeing some good activity in the market, high demand for particular types of property, and we certainly need lots more properties. So if you have property you're thinking of selling, or you would just like to have an informal chat about the market, please do not hesitate to get in touch and we can help. Thank you for your time. I hope you found that of interest, and I look forward to another report soon. Bye for now.